Hey, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. Everything in this video was found on a public domain and the full disclaimers down below. Lots of love and many blessings your way. I'm calling this guy Pawpaw Floppy. He's real old and he just showed up the other day and right now we're healing his eyes. People get animals and they love them in the beginning and then they just absolutely mistreat them. Animals feel everything that we do as humans. It's so sad. He couldn't even see when he found his way to my house. He's looking better. So let's get on with it. Okay, so I spoke with my buddy Jay this morning and let me share with you guys what he told me. Prince Harry will not speak to his family. He's there for a purpose. He's going to serve it and he's leaving as soon as he can. Harry has till the end of this month to give every blow-by-blow detail he's doing in the royal circuit. Like getting together with JoN Bon Jovi, creating this freebie song for the Invictus Games. Here's the problem with every bit of this. Okay, so when a royal family member do something under what they call the royal circuit, they have to have it documented. It has to be on their calendar, in their books. Especially like Harry's been using the heck out of these offices, meeting with all sorts of people in the last several days. All of that expense is coming from the taxpayers, and he has yet to document anything that he has going on now or for the future up until the 31st. And that totally should be falling in his pocketbook, not the taxpayers. He knows the rules. William tried contacting Harry, as it was told to me. Found out he was using one of the offices to meet up with JoN Bon Jovi. He's not turned in his itinerary or his schedule. So William went down there to these offices trying to talk to Harry. Had it not been for this royal insider being there, Harry and William would have tangled up. Insider said that William and Harry were bumping chest. Now, according to a staff member, all William did was try to say hello to Harry and asked if they could speak. Harry threw out some sort of attitude getting in William's face. That's when this royal insider stepped in, separating the brothers. They said Harry was all kinds of crazy in that place. William just got up and left, and he looked really hurt about it. Said there were two people there trying to calm Harry down. Harry was acting belligerent. Keep in mind, this took place in front of JoN Bon Jovi. They said within 5 minutes he had wrapped up what he was doing and left. He and JoN Bon Jovi left together. And it's just being assumed that they went to the Soho house to finish up their meeting. That's where Harry's been staying. So listen to this. What a weak excuse, truly. Ever since this scuffle the other day, Meghan is now deciding it is just too dangerous for Archie to be there. She needs to leave Archie at home with Jessica Maroney, as well as the child's nanny, of course. And she flat told the royal family there is no way Archie will be there. Simply doesn't feel safe. Such a crock, you guys. We know there's no Archie. They're clutching at straws, y'all. We all know there's no Archie. They know there's no Archie. And they'll use anything as an excuse as to why they can't present an Archie to the family. So getting on with it, listen to this. This is definitely a personal vendetta against the royal family. Meghan and Harry have been shopping around trying to find a producer to produce their own version of The Crown. They want to tell their truth in their words, their way. You guys, they've even gone as far as contacting Trevor Engelson. That's Meghan's ex-husband. I'm being told he wanted nothing to do with it, or her. Harry's completely on board with this idea and he's ready to sing like a canary. In fact, they've already started. They just wrapped up a very negative documentary with the Vice Network, and it's called Vice Versa. Meghan Markle Escaping the Crown, where she talks about all of the mistreatment, the blatant racism that she went through, and all about how the family never made her feel welcome. They always treated her so poorly. And Lord, if you're new to this mess, just know that she's never accepted her ethnic side, even going as far as claiming to be Caucasian on one of these CV sites that she registered at, where she's getting babe ratings. Gag. In fact, this is the only stretch of time that she's ever claimed to be biracial. She never has really brought her mother around prior to hooking up with Harry. And it was leaked out not too long ago that she and her mother don't have the greatest relationship. The only card she can play and make a few bucks off of is this screaming racism. And the critics are also saying that the vice versa documentary is lazy journalism at its best. I really don't see it spitting out a lot of money like she anticipated it would. And for that reason alone is why she's going in a different direction, making her own The Crown. Listen to what Disney told her. She finished that voiceover and she started putting in for other things. And then, of course, Bob Iger, he left, leaving them in a big pickle. And she was still trying to hound Disney for other parts. And they finally told her, we don't need you. You need us. So you might want to watch how you address people. They say she was getting really nasty with some of the bigwigs at Disney. Even going as far as saying, okay, I don't think I want my voiceover put out there. And by now it's too late. She's already signed off and been paid. These are like two of the most hard up people I've ever seen. So guess what they're into now? So Meghan has ordered her agents to find her a role in a Marvel movie. She feels that she's superhero quality. This will bring in the big bucks. She is desperate to be in the very next big Marvel movie. No. You guys, she seriously wants to be a superhero. Super Skank and Captain Crackhead. That would be an awesome movie. Do you know what that says? This is how she sees herself, as a superhero. After all, she did escape the crown. You better get her superhero powers in play. Guess what's going on? So this lady named Caprice, who used to date Harry's uncle, has come back into the picture. Harry was super obsessed with her. She has been reaching out to Harry. This entire situation has put Meghan on edge, so it's been told to me. Harry has spoken to Caprice several times since moving to Canada. Meghan doesn't like that at all. But according to Caprice, they're just friends. She's trying to lend her support during this hard time for Harry. Surely Meghan will understand. She has her good buddy Marcus with her. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right, Meghan? My buddy Jay thinks it's a complete setup on the royal family's end, because they knew that Harry had a weakness for Caprice. That right there shows a level of desperation, truly. The family, even though they never wanted them to divorce sooner than 5 years, are desperate at this point to separate Harry and Meghan. And even though Jay couldn't go into detail, he did tell me this morning. There's another huge crisis on the horizon in the royal family. He said just to be on the lookout. It'll come out here shortly. Before I forget, there's a few, I think 5, GoFundMe pages set up for Harry and Meghan. It's a con. That has nothing to do with Meghan and Harry. These are private citizens trying to con folks out of money. I'm keeping my eye on them. I want to see how many suckers there are out there. Okay, speaking of suckers, listen to what Meghan has done. She is nickel and diming the royal family to death. So originally, her plan was to sneak over to London, finish up her royal duties, and sneak on out of there. Because it's just too dangerous for Archie to be involved, she's made some sort of an agreement with the royal family that she would agree to stand out there with them during these Commonwealth events only if they beefed up her own personal security by another $65,000 for the event alone. This is at taxpayers' expense. Keep that in mind. She used the excuse that William was too dangerous and erratic since he and Harry nearly had blows. In my opinion, I believe she's doing this to strong arm them and to show the world she's going to get her way one way or the other with the royal family. She's a pit viper. They're not afraid of much. Okay, let me tell you about this and I'll shut my big old mouth. So she was invited to the Met Gala of 2020, along with Edward Enninful from Vogue. She's super excited. Of course she's going. That's where all these super rich people dress up like freaks and spend all sorts of money to show up. God forbid they spend their money helping anything other than themselves. And everybody's talking about how excited she is that she was personally invited to the Met Gala 2020, along with Edward Enninful. She's known Edward Enninful for quite some time. She and old Edward there set up that entire Vogue situation, acting as if they've never met. He's as nasty as she is, as are his connections. Anyway, listen to this. She is bringing Marcus along with her and Edward Enninful as their +1. They're saying that Harry was really excited, thinking he was going along too. And she said, no, it's just going to be for the 3 of them. He had to stay back. Oh, poor Harry. Maybe you'll call Caprice. I'll see y'all soon and we'll talk fast. Stay safe and be blessed.